G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now on Sunday the 31st of July 2022 I'll be publishing an article with allegations by ABC journalist Mark Reddy that the Australian Federal Police are playing favourites with the Daily Telegraph, the Sydney paper owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corp. And they're leaking stories to them prior to news conferences where there are other media getting the information in relation to, say, for example, a drug bust. There was a specific story. Mark Reddy went on Twitter and complained that the Australian Federal Police were leaking to the Daily Telegraph about half an hour, 45 minutes before the press conference. So that enabled the Daily Telegraph to get up on their website earlier and obviously get the scoop. Now there's obviously a huge financial advantage for News Corp to get those sorts of scoops. And you have to wonder, are they paying the police for it? Especially when you consider that they have a history of paying police. How do we know that? Well, let's watch the video in a second of Rebecca Brooks, who is a senior executive for News Corp in the UK. Previously, Rebecca Brooks was a senior executive at News of the World, a News Corp paper that closed down after the hacking scandal that broke in the UK, where Rupert Murdoch's papers, especially News of the World, were paying private investigators to hack into people's phones to get stories, you know, celebrities and high-profile politicians, etc. They even hacked the phone of a 13-year-old dead girl, trying to get a scoop there. Very sick and demented people. Now, Rupert Murdoch could have and should have gone to jail over that, but that's a different story. The key here is you've got Rebecca Brooks, 2003, at a government inquiry admitting to paying police. Now Andy Coulson, you'll see in the video in a second, interrupts her and says, oh no, we only paid police within the confines of the law. As the politician pointed out, there is no way to pay police within the confines of the law. It's a bribery, it's a criminal offence. I wrote an article about in 2014, will News Corp here, they were registered here at the time, and the News Corp papers in the UK were subsidiaries. So given they were registered here, there's Australian laws, international bribery laws, bribing government officials of other countries. They could have and should have faced criminal charges here as well. But they got off. But let's have a listen to the video. You'll hear Rebecca Brooks admitting to paying police, and you'll hear Andy Coulson try and cover up, and as the politician says, it's illegal to pay police. Now let's listen to it now.
Can I not just ask whether they ever pay the police?
Sorry?
It's just the one element of whether you ever pay the police for information.
Yeah.
We have paid the police for information in the past, and it's been...
And will you do it in the future?
It depends on...
We operate within the code and within the law, and if there's a clear public interest, then within in the same, so the same holds for private detectives, for subterfuge, for video bags, whatever you want to talk about.
It's illegal for police officers to receive payments?
No, we don't. I just said within the law.
So there you have it from Rebecca Brooks. Now she faced criminal charges also over the phone bugging scandal, the eavesdropping scandal in the UK. She should have gone to jail. I think Andy Coulson did go to jail, but Rebecca Brooks was eventually let off. They dropped the charges, or she was found not guilty, one of the two, and she went back to being a senior executive for Rupert Murdoch. Obviously she shut her mouth and protected Rupert Murdoch. He should have gone to jail. He would have known what was happening over there without a doubt. Now, but the point here is to this story is we got Mark Reddy here saying that the Australian Federal Police are giving favouritism to the Sydney Telegraph. They have a history of getting bribing government officials, including the police. So are News Corp in Australia bribing the Australian Federal Police? That's a question that's going to be asked, a legitimate question. They need to explain, the Australian Federal Police, why they are giving favouritism to the News Corp, which is obviously giving them a financial advantage as well, because they get the scoop, they get more subscribers, obviously, and they make more money. So what's the financial advantage, or what's the advantage to the Australian Federal Police of doing that? Because they've embarrassed themselves. Now I'll put screenshots of what Mark Reddy said on Twitter in the article, and I'll read it out now. Now on Friday the 22nd of July, Mark Reddy said on Twitter, the Australian Federal Police dropping another story about a drug bust to the Daily Telegraph before the scheduled 12:30 PM press conference. What he means by dropping another story, he means he's given they're giving the Daily Telegraph the scoop. I called up asking for the same information. Wasn't given it and was told that's just how it is. Unbelievable. Then a few minutes later he's tweeted on Twitter again, and he says, the telly published a story about the drug bust at 11:34am. The presser actually began at 12:13pm. Despite making inquiries, the Australian Federal Police wouldn't give me anything in advance. And then he sends it to ABC Media Watch as well. So you'll see those actual tweets on my website in the article published on Sunday, the 31st of August. Now, no one has followed that up. Now, the following day on Saturday, Mark Reddy said he had sent Australian Federal Police an email on the Friday, the day before, and they hadn't responded. To the best of my knowledge, I've checked Twitter, I've checked where I could on Media Watch, and I haven't seen any other statement about that at all. So it looks like it's been swept under the carpet, and Media Watch and ABC and everyone else involved have got a lot of questions they need to answer. Best way you can make sure that pressure is put on the Federal Police and the government to get answers is to make sure you share this video on your social media, Facebook and Twitter, etc. Now, the Australian Federal Police now report to the Attorney General, Mark Dreyfus, and he should be investigating to see what they're up to. Now, in 2015, News Corp here were also bribing the Crown Prosecutor, New South Wales Crown Prosecutor, Margaret Cunneen, and I wrote an article about it as well, so you can read that article. So they have form on the board, News Corp bribing government officials. This needs to be fully investigated and done in a public manner. The ABC haven't followed up on Mark Reedy's complaint. As you'll see in the article, I've got links there. Media Watch, he CC'd in effect on Twitter. He put their account name down, so they would have got the message that the Australian Federal Police are blocking him while giving scoops to the Sydney Telegraph. Host of the ABC's Media Watch was aware of this story because he retweeted Mark Reedy's message, yet he hasn't put it on Media Watch. This is a huge story. Why aren't Media Watch running with it? Maybe there's more to be told there, as I state in the article. Other than that, I'm an independent journalist. I rely on donations, etc. To continually publish. You'll see in the description box on my YouTube channel underneath the video that there's a direct link there that you can donate one-off donations via PayPal, or you can do a monthly donation. And other than that, please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.